a way to overcome adversity. Be careful when introducing a new order. In part, the difficulties encountered in acquiring a state arise when introducing new laws and institutions to establish national system and security. We must keep in mind that under any circumstance, nothing is more difficult, dangerous, and difficult to succeed than introducing a new order. This is because reformers have enemies and lukewarm people. For reformers, those who benefit from the old system are enemies, and those who will benefit from the new system are advocates of lukewarm attitudes. Their indifference stems from fear of enemies, who benefit from existing laws and doubts that show no trust in any new work, unless they are the result of proper experience. If you want reform, you have to do it on your own. Opponents of the new order rush in with the enthusiasm of their enthusiastic members. Whenever they have the opportunity to attack, however, the target only defends lethargic. Therefore, it is dangerous to rely on them. In order to thoroughly discuss these topics, it is necessary to find out whether reformers rely on themselves or a third party. In other words, it is a question of whether you appeal to please or achieve them by force in order to carry out the plan. The former always failed. Nothing was gained. There is no danger when relying solely on one's own power for reform. The visionaries who appeared with weapons in their hands succeeded, but those who were empty-handed failed. On the other hand, human tendencies are volatile, so it is easy to persuade them, but it is difficult to make them maintain their beliefs. The visionary must force people to believe that they no longer trust. Do not repeat hardline measures every day, but implement them strongly at once. If a country is occupied, the conqueror must take the necessary hardline measures, which must be implemented strongly at once, but not repeated every day. By avoiding this repetition, we must win the support of the natives, and buy their hearts by giving them grace. A monarch who acts stupidly on the wrong advice cannot expect obedience from the people, and if that continues, the people cannot trust him. All harsh acts must be done at once. Only then will it be less painful and do not cause animosity. On the contrary, you should show grace one at a time, so that you can feel it more. Above all, the monarch must remain constant in thinking about the people under any circumstances, whether it is good or bad. When the situation is unfavorable and you want to take action, you already miss the right time. And even if you do good intentions, they are considered reluctant and not helpful, nor are you grateful. If you become a monarch, you must win the favor of the people. Those who become monarchs with the support of the people should make efforts not to lose their favor. This is easy for the king because the people simply ask him not to oppress them. However, those who went back to the will of the people and became king with the support of the nobles must first try to win the favor of the people. This is simple as long as you keep your people under your own protection. For instance, a person is treated unfairly and benefits from it, and they are loyal to their benefactor. As a result, people are more interested in such a person than if they had become monarchs with their support. Monarchs can capture the hearts of the people in a variety of ways, but there is no fixed method because each characteristic varies. In conclusion, it is very important for a monarch to receive the goodwill and love of the people. Otherwise, you will receive no support when you are in trouble. Be clear about whether you are an enemy or a friend. A monarch is only recognized when he reveals whether he is a true friend or enemy. That is, when he asserts his position against others regardless of the outcome. It will be more beneficial to him than to remain neutral. The reason for this is that if two neighboring forces fight, if one side wins, the monarch has no reason to fear the winner. In both cases, it is recommended that the monarch clarify his position and go to war justly. This is because if you do not do so, you will fall victim to the victor, giving the loser joy and satisfaction, and neither side can ask for protection or support. The victor does not want a friend who is likely to leave his side when an ordeal strikes, and the loser will not forgive him for taking the sword and refusing to share his fate with him. Don't join hands with a country stronger than you to attack another country. When a country other than an ally demands the monarch to be neutral, there is always a situation in which the ally demands that the monarch take up arms and participate in the war for themselves. To avoid immediate danger, an indecisive monarch generally takes a neutral position, but ends up being destroyed. However, even if the monarch is a victorious country and has to obey their will, they will do him a favor out of a sense of duty when he bravely declares support from one side and wins. Humans are not mean enough to attack those who have helped in this situation without knowing the grace. Just because you win a war, there is no perfect victory for the victor to ignore justice. However, when the monarch side loses, they will become friendly afterward, and if possible, try to help. Therefore, when the situation improves, the two countries can become partners of destiny. A monarch must be more careful in supporting a country when there is no need to be afraid of winning a war. This is because if you judge that it is wise to help one side, it will destroy the other side that may have been saved. Even if the supported side defeated the enemy, it would follow the monarch because it could not win without help. One thing to note is that a monarch should avoid joining hands with a stronger country to attack another unless it is unavoidable. If a united power wins, it will try to keep the monarch at his disposal, thus avoiding such a situation whenever possible. Machiavelli abandons hypocrisy and pretensions and bravely tells the truth against the face of the power that a monarch should have in reality. In this respect, Mao Zedong, who said, "Power comes from the muzzle," may be the most faithful disciple of Machiavelli. Despite the fact that new Confucian scholars of the Joseon dynasty advocated moral politics, a country that had no power to defend itself was forced to fall victim to numerous wars, including the Imjin War and the Bayonja War. Furthermore, Machiavelli's lesson in being wary of politics, which was obsessed with justification, while being ignorant of reality, is reflected on the ugliness of the fact that new Confucianists claimed to be moral soldiers. Machiavelli regarded politics as a skill of possibility. Politics was understood as the process of constantly finding ways for a community to survive and thrive, taking into account the nation's capabilities and its surrounding environment. This is also true of modern business management. As a result, Machiavelli's perspective offers strong implications not only in the national and political spheres, but also in business and leadership. The state and church were the only large-scale organizations in Machiavelli's era. But corporate organizations have grown to a level that transcends the scope and boundaries of the country. Global companies manage and control resources and manpower that exceed those of most countries in the past. Therefore, Machiavelli's monarchy theory can be fully reinterpreted as CEO theory and leadership theory. Nothing is more difficult and dangerous than introducing a new order. Driving innovation is a difficult and dangerous thing to do. The aristocrats who are loyal to the monarch and not greedy should be saved. Executives who are loyal to their leaders but do not take care of their own interests should be saved. Don't join hands with a country stronger than yourself to attack another. If you form a strategic alliance to attack your competitors, you should avoid companies that are stronger than you. If you try to defend your country with mercenaries, you will never be stable or safe. Don't think anyone else will raise you, but protect it with your own strength. A company's core competitiveness must be secured from within. Outsourcing should be limited to non-core sectors. Provide the price to those who are trying to develop the country. Provide incentives to those who contribute to the organization. Machiavelli's ideas started from the concerns of current officials, seeking the survival and prosperity of the Republic of Florence, a small country surrounded by surrounding powers. So, his way of thinking can be combined with current companies that have to seek survival in constant competition. In this respect, the monarchy can be said to be the prototype of corporate management and organizational leadership in the 21st century, and will be of great help in overcoming organizational adversity. I support your passion